So now,
Jeez, Chuck. Quit talking about the professor that way. Just kidding.
okay, so now we are going live.
Now that we're live.
Yes.
You,
Okay.
you may not have been recording, but I record all.
Okay, so just to clarify, Tuesday at 8:45, and then Thursdays as a backup at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
And then the next topic was have we decided as a team if we want to do Holy Burger or do we want to do injury report? Any questions? Any thoughts?
Honestly, I think Ben and I both have our decided on what we want to do.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother voting because, of course, I'm going to vote for mine. But
Okay, so it's then Tyler, Joseph, and myself. I'll be the last one.
oh, good. If there's an odd number, that means there can't be a tie.
No, because we still have to wait for Andrew.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I see benefits to the injury report, partly because it's already been built and we've already got a clear direction to go, and most of the things will be pretty easy and straightforward. And the Holy Burger game, I'm not sure it'll be as hard as it initially seems. Doing animations and moving things around in JavaScript is not as hard as it might sound. I don't want to be that guy, but I really have no preference.
Oh, that is not nice.
That's the point. Okay.
I'm going to say that's pretty lame. you gotta have a decision. That's the vote.
Okay, so I am going to go.
Just so we're clear on. Oh, sorry. Before Patty votes.
Okay, go
Just
ahead.
so we're clear, my feelings aren't going to be hurt either way. Like, my whole thing with the Holy Burger game is I want to build games, and I like having fun doing stuff, and that sounded fun. If we go with the injury report, deep down in my heart of hearts, I won't be hurt. So...
I will be hurt. So does that sway the vote? Or... No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Although I did just have another thought. I believe injury report will be easier to compartmentalize and divvy out to the whole team to do things.
I agree.
Fewer sections to Holy Burger.
Okay, so somebody said I agree. Who was that?
That was me, Tyler.
Okay, Tyler, so do you vote then for injury report?
I vote for injury report.
Same.
Okay, so I guess there it is, because even if I vote either way, injury report
Yours
won
counts
already.
for two.
I haven't voted yet. You could sway my vote to the other and totally mess this whole thing up.
Oh, well, to be honest, on my thing, I would have to say I was looking forward to the Holy Burger just because it's different. But then from the beginning, I really liked Chuck's presentation and how he has it already kind of divided into the different things. And like Joseph said, it might be easier to divvy up within every member of the group so somebody can target something in particular. But I was looking forward to the Holy Burger, so there you go. So I guess 3 against 2.
Do we see any obstacles with the injury report? And I state that because one of the reasons why I presented it was, well, selfishly, because I want to be able to develop it for a web app, although I don't know it's going to gain much traction in the web app format, but I think there's some other concepts that can. But are there any obstacles that we see ahead of time that we go, holy cow, that's going to be crazy to try to accomplish? I don't want to position us for failure. I think it's expandable. I think we can dumb it down, and we can get totally out there with it. And that's the one thing I like as well, based on our different levels of skill sets that we have or that we learn throughout the class. Ben, do you have any thoughts on that? Because I mean, you seem to have a good hold of programming side, maybe more
Well,
than most of us.
I'm taking a look through it right now. Sorry, I was
No, you're
quiet
fine.
because I was pulling up the proposal so I can get another look at it.
So
Um,
I'm not seeing anything that'll be
Pitch.
insurmountable.
let's see.
And if
Yeah,
How
you
did you
if
know that
you
was what I was doing too? I was looking up your elevator pitch to see, to just refresh.
Well, and I also think that he has it uploaded into the Google Share Drive.
Yeah, the proposal's in the drive. That's where I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
and if you want to see a real life version of it, you can go to the App Store and download it for free. So if you've got an iPhone.
Can anybody
Uh,
share their screen with it? Like if they have the proposal up?
Yeah, give me just a second.
Thank
So
you.
Chuck, did you make this app yourself?
No. Yes and no. I didn't do any of the programming on it. For the last 2 years, that's where I've been focusing on learning it. My business partner, he did all the programming side of it. I'm now I focus my side on the web development aspect of the business, and now I'm more into Android, so I can, so we can double our market size. Does that answer your
Okay.
question?
Yeah.
And the other thing too is, although it's been built, doesn't mean it's done the right way. And I think there's a lot of options that you can go with. And I don't think it's specific to a youth sport. I think you can do it in the workplace. There's a lot of applications that you can use it. And I think that when you find yourself in a workplace, you deal with a lot of processes and systems and forms. And so that was the other reason I thought that would be beneficial for everyone, because as you get into a business environment, you'll start to see how forms and moving yourself from paper to digital and databases and so forth is incredibly beneficial and will position you for quite a bit of success in your organization or company you work for.
Okay, so he's got it pulled up. Ben does.
Thank you, Ben.
Yep.
So these are all snapshots of your app that your company has created.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. So this page that I'm on right now, is this like separate incidences with the player's name, or what am I looking at?
Yeah, so it's just a list of the injury reports that are on your particular device.
Okay.
But again, the one thing that stood out in my mind was he said it's a one-page app. Keep it simple, one-page app. And so I was trying to, in my mind, how that would work in a one-page app. And I can just see kind of, scrolls to the next. You click on something, it takes you further down the page. So I don't anticipate any type of storage of injury reports, although I think if we could add it to a database, I think that'd be incredible.
Well, really, like switching the pages here isn't going to be much of a problem. Say if we had this be its own page and have like just a list of all the locally stored people, and then as you press them, it just takes you to different links that fill the form in. That really would be too hard.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I was thinking when you were saying we need to keep it one page. We just kind of keep a list of names at the bottom, but at the top they're allowed to enter in a new one. But if they wanted to review it, it would kind of split the window and show you pertinent information about whoever you wanted to click on.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, just looking at it, I don't foresee any real problems. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I guess my question here is with this email button up here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember seeing it. Maybe it was in there, but are we planning on setting it up so that you can email these injury reports or send them to a server somewhere, or?
That's super simple. It's like 5 lines of PHP code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just asking to get a clear picture. I know it's pretty much just mail to and then the
Yeah.
info, but
Yeah, so, great. If it's that simple, that's fantastic. I think in an ideal, like a stretch goal, would be able to, email it, but then also be able to store it, right? To be able to store it in a database, I think would be awesome. So think of like each company or each department in a company or a youth, baseball league, and then teams from each league being able to have a team repository, a league repository. Um, I mean, that would be awesome from a stretch process, but again, just kind of depends on what we're able to accomplish in a short period of time.
And
yeah. Well,
if
oh,
we're
go
already
ahead.
collecting all this data for an email, it would be really easy to push it to a server on a SQL table.
Yeah, I anticipate it being easy, but you never know.
Can somebody see who just texted?
That was Andrew. Or yeah, I think it was Andrew. Yep.
Can you guys give him the magic that you and Tyler did to be
Yeah.
able to join our call? Because Joseph and Chuck didn't have a problem, so I don't know.
Yeah, it shows up on my phone as like a call, so.
It showed up on my email and my phone, but it didn't on my email.
It disappeared before I could click accept, so that probably happened for him too.
On the left-hand side of your Gmail, you should have. Let me show you guys. Mine's at least up this way. Share.
Yeah, so when I tried, what was going on with me was I have this Hangouts app open, and when I tried clicking it here, it sent me to my own separate video call.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
That's
so
because
what
you're
I had to
chatting on
do was go to hangouts.google.com
Hey, Andrew.
and then click on this, and that's what allowed me into the call.
Yeah, that same Google Hangouts on the left. If you look on my Gmail, I've got that kind of shown up right here. So if anyone's,
Yeah.
so I don't have to jump to another page.
So the reason this is happening is because the one we're chatting in is a totally different chat room than the one that we're using to invite for the Hangouts on air. Whenever you start a new on air, it starts a new chat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Hey, I was going to say in the future, if you share the link at the top, we can just click on that in the chat window. So when you start it next time, just copy and paste that link in the chat window, and then it'll go straight to it.
okay.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
That's good to know.
They probably do still need me invited, though.
I'll send whoever does it next week, because that's the other topic we need to cover. Like, if we can make a schedule, who will be taking over the charge for the next few weeks. Oh, so Andrew, who would you vote for, Holy Burger or the injury report?
So what was our feedback for both? Because I only saw feedback for one.
The feedback for Holy Burger was it would work fine. Initially, I needed to add some AJAX and local storage to it, but that was going to get changed to storing like local scores and unlockable stuff, and then the AJAX was going to be used in like achievements or badges or something simple like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
There's actually you would want to do, for an idle game like that, you'd probably want to do all of it in Ajax, because like a lot of those idle games will work offline, and so like maybe there'll be two different portions, like some portions that would work while you're online, but some portions that like generate income or whatever while you're offline, and so that will need to be Ajax.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So there actually will be a lot of Ajax involved.
Yeah. So overall, he said it would be a good project, but he said the same thing about the injury report as well. So both of them are good to go, but it comes down to a vote.
Okay. So what is it so far?
3 versus 2.
4,
in favor of injury report.
Yep.
and there's 6 people.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
apparently the
we
other
can-
Benjamin's not showing up.
We
Well, that's
can
a problem.
you can either vote for injury report or we can flip a coin. That's
Well, yeah. I do have a couple of concerns with injury report. One of them is kind of the legality part, because Chuck, if you're going to be using that for business purposes, I'm just going to come out and say I'm not sure I'm comfortable working on an app that you're going to make money on.
Well, a couple things. A, it's already been developed. B, it's a free app, and so there's no money being made on it at all.
Okay.
But it's a absolute respectable concern, and I appreciate the concern. I had asked earlier if there was any concerns about it. So
Okay. Because I
Yeah.
thought at first you were selling it, so.
nope.
I was concerned about that after I found out, and I was gonna swing my vote towards Holy Burger, but I would feel a lot more comfortable if it was not used as like a business thing. So awkward silence.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
We are all waiting for you to continue, Tyler.
we're giving deep consideration to what you just said. That's
My main thing is like, I voted for Holy Burger just because I think it might be something different and fun. My only thing is if we end up doing with the injury report, I hope that Chuck down the road, your team or your business put some security in place for that information to not be leaked.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that we are going to be working on that.
Well, and I'll tell you this, that's why it's in an app version and not a web version, right? So the whole process around an injury report was not that I would even use it, to be quite frank, because it doesn't match our business model. But the value of leveraging web apps and forms and process, like I mentioned earlier, just bringing Andrew up to speed on the conversation, to be able to take paper processes in a business or organization and streamline that so it's more digital and database driven is an invaluable resource as you enter the workplace. So that's why I saw tremendous value in it. Because it's a rinse repeat process at that point, right? So if you build injury report, well, what other form can you what other process that's paper in your organization, then each of us can go back to that same structure and rebuild, rinse, repeat, and leverage it in a very successful way.
And I think it's a great web app. My degree goes more into like security and network security and stuff like that. So that would be like my only suggestion, for you in the future to make sure that that information doesn't end up very accessible in the web.
Yeah.
yes. More power to you, Patty. I took one computer security class and I was done.
Oh, me too.
Oh, I loved it. It was amazing. All the things that you can do. Pretty cool.
Well,
I
was
love
it like
mine too.
was it the CIT version or the CS version?
The CIT.
Oh, okay. That's probably why. The CS one was pretty much learning how to hack, and by learning how to hack, how to stop hackers.
The CIT is the same.
And it was, at least for me, it was a nightmare. But
oh my God, I dreaded that class.
I took it online, and like we had an assignment where we were supposed to use a buffer overflow attack to rewrite our grade. And it didn't go well for me or anyone in the class. And 2 weeks after it was due, I emailed the professor and I was like, "So what is the answer? What the heck am I doing here?" And he emailed me back and said, "I'm still looking for good sources. I'll let you know when I find one." Oh, so you don't even know what we're doing.
Well, and I think it
Wow.
depends on that professor. I have taken some classes, like a class that I had to take at the beginning was like a Cisco networking security class. And the
Uh-huh.
professor basically didn't even show up. I was emailing him like, hey, you know what? I'm having a hard time in this class. Please help me. I eventually dropped the class, like before you get the W, because I had an F
Yeah.
with the first 2 weeks. Because he's like, no, 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 you figure it out. Like, he wouldn't even reply. When I took it again, I had like an awesome instructor, and he would like hold meetings like live for like an hour, and he would like walk you through some of the things on how to secure. And he did say that some of those classes are much better when you're actually in the campus, because you can see actually how to secure the system than being online on a simulated network.
Yeah.
But it's fun though.
So-
It's fun.
So as far as the app decision,
Yes, we need to get back to
Now that
that.
we're like completely off track.
yeah. I do. So Chuck, again, this is like not about you, but about the idea. Because the the one concern I had is that, like, yeah, you can see it as a plus that it's already been developed. I see it as a negative in that, like, we're building off of something that's already built versus building something new. And that's kind of the same reason I had an idea for a weather app that I built last semester. That like we could easily use a lot of.
That's what I pitched. You were the one who responded to me, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the reason I didn't pitch that, because I would have pitched that as well, because I think it's an awesome idea. I didn't want to do it because it's something I've already built, and so like I don't want to go into it like, okay guys, I'm the expert on this, so here's what I would say and here's what's right. I want everyone to be able to work on a new project and not base it off an existing project. So, and I just think that'll be a better experience for all of us to be able to build something new and fresh versus build it off an already existing project. Does that make sense?
Fair concern. Fair concern. I think the reason why I chose something that's familiar with me not to be the expert, because I think you and I have worked in the past on projects, and I don't think that was I don't think I ever came across that way. At least I hope not.
No, that's not the case. I guess
my goal was, because these classes have been so challenging, and you and I have faced some of those classes, I wanted to make sure that we had an easy course that we could expand on if needed, get as complex as needed, but also had a clear path to completion to be able to get the grades that we did.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, I'm good either way. I really am.
So what's your
I guess
vote,
it's
then?
a flexibility
No,
thing, I guess, is my point. Not necessarily egos, but flexibility of the project is kind of the issue. So.
I think I'm going to change my vote. Holy burger.
So there
Probably
we go.
because I'm still hungry. and that's what I'm saying is my reason.
Again, we don't have to make a decision tonight. We can just leave it, think it over, and make.
Yeah,
a
we do have a
decision
few
next week.
weeks still.
Yeah, we have a few weeks. to make a decision.
And Chuck, I just want
frankly,
to re-clarify too that this has nothing. Like, I had no problems working with you in a project before, so it's nothing like that. It's just, or that I think it's a bad idea even. So.
I don't take any. I just presented an idea, so
yeah.
I'm good. You know me. It's just about how we find success. So I'm totally.
We're cool.
No feelings. Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. What I do want to do is I do want to come out of today with a decision though, because for some of us, raise my hand. It's great for me to know kind of where I'm headed, so I can, as I'm learning these assignments, I can start thinking about how it's going to be applied to our project versus learning the information and then going, oh crap, well how do I apply this now that we've chosen X, direction? Does that make sense?
That's a good point.
So I'd prefer that we did make the decision and move forward and have confidence in it, and that will also allow our juices to flow on how we improve it. And
I agree with that.
Yeah, so if Tyler changed his and you've voted Holyburger, then that's I think 4-2, and I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
One plus with that too as well, like with idle games, they're fairly popular. So I think for any of us to become an expert on it, all we have to do is play one of those games for like 10-15 minutes, and we get an idea of what it is.
So does everyone know what Andrew's talking about with the idle games?
I can find a link for one. I'll find a link for one that's a good example.
I have an idea called Floppy Bird. Does that sound like a good idea?
Oh my gosh.
Can somebody?
I've killed for less.
I like that you said Floppy Bird.
I did. It would be very original.
Okay, I'm sending a link. Here's a perfect example of one. I'll send it in the chat right here.
Okay.
So this one's called Swarm Simulator, and so this is something. This one doesn't actually work in the background. A lot of idle games will work in the background, but this one you have to have open. But this one's purely text-based. Like there's no graphics or anything. But it's a perfect example of how it slowly builds, and so like you unlock more things, and there's achievements and a bunch of different stuff. So like it grows, and so there's a lot of content, but it's like really simple what it does.
Now, Congregate makes the Millionaire app too, right?
Yeah. Are you talking about the Bitcoin Billionaire or the other one?
The other one.
Oh, the other game one.
I forget what it's called. I know which one you're talking about.
Is that also an idle game?
Yeah, I'll find a link for that one too, because that's another good example. It's got like a bunch of progress bars and stuff. I sent this one as a link just because it's all text based, so that's a good like simple example.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, this one looks cool.
Mine's still loading.
Well, like I said, if anybody played that for like 10 minutes, you'd get an idea like, okay, I can build this, you know. Or something similar or better or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
Okay, so is that our decision, or do we want to proceed into the topics that we're teaching, and then at the end we decide like, hey, this is it?
I think we did decide. I think it was 4-2.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think
Okay.
we're good to move forward.
Okay. So one thing though is the way that I had presented Holy Burger in the proposal was more
Adventure Capitalist, that's the one. Right?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that one. But there's also a Billionaire game too. I can't remember. But Adventure Capitalist was the one that I was thinking of. Thank you. And this one does have that ability to come back to it, and it will have kept going.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a good example of that. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
It's based on cookies, right?
Yeah, you can do cookies or session variables. They're kind of the same. One and the same.
Yeah.
So rather than internal storage, though, I think it might be good to do use Ajax to store elsewhere, like on a server or something. And I don't know if that's what we're doing for this class, but so we could do either way, internal storage or external.
You have to do Ajax, and we've also got to do local storage. So we can find something to do with the local storage. So is everybody cool with the idle game idea? My only thing is I have to rewrite the proposal to reflect more of an idle game instead of the platformer, because just to give you kind of an idea, this is what I wrote more of my proposal for, and I'm not going to argue, I'm totally cool with changing it to an idle game. I think that would be good too. But anyone who's played like the old Burger Time game, I just put a link in the chat to it, but that's more of what I wrote the proposal for. And so if everyone's cool with the idle game idea, then I'll go ahead and change it and switch it over to an idle game.
Yeah, I just think idle would be a ton easier to develop.
Yeah.
Because there's no graphics.
Yeah, and I would agree with you.
I don't know the difference of either one, because I'm not really into games. But whatever, I'll support whatever you guys prefer.
Okay.
I think graphics would be a lot of fun to learn about.
Well, we can still implement graphics with the idle game.
Okay.
It just won't be as intensive. Like instead of a constant moving everything around, it's pretty much like, say for example, if we were building a burger army, then when the army is ready to be assembled or you level something up, it'll have an animation indicating you to click on it or something. and it just won't be as graphics intensive.
Yeah.
So we can still do graphics.
Because
think
it will
the-
need some level of graphics for the CSS animation and so forth.
Yeah.
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 I think the one issue when I was thinking about it, about the graphics, because it's on a mobile, like if it was just a desktop game, I don't think it'd be as big of a deal. But there's a lot of hurdles when we're talking about centralizing it for mobile, because we got to do like touch and swipes and things like that. But
Yeah.
also orientation, like we'd probably have to lock the screen so it's landscape, and I don't know if you can do that in a browser on a mobile device, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, and that's a really good point.
So
I
I think that was the big
good.
thing. But anyways,
So,
Probably
okay.
possible.
Well, if-
yeah, it's probably possible, but not easy.
yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I think I have gone into websites where you can't turn it. It's like designed for a certain, it tells you like, it goes blank and there's like a sign that will tell you like this is better shown like if you are on landscape mode.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then you turn it around. I don't know what the code behind it is, but I have seen that on my phone.
Okay. So if we're all cool with the idle game idea, I will rework the proposal and have it up by like tomorrow or Thursday.
Perfect.
And I'll put it in the Google Drive and resubmit it to Brother James just to double check and make sure that he's fine with the end result. And if you guys have any suggestions, I'll wait to send it to him till like Friday. That way, if you guys have any concerns or suggestions or anything you want to change on the proposal, you can let me know and we can fix it.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Sounds
perfect.
good.
Perfect. Okay, so the next topic that we wanted to do was who would like to, before everybody drops off the call, who would like to pick a week? I know that Chuck was very kind and he posted like what we had decided last week. So if we can set in kind of stone who's kind of leading the next hangout, so like that we know who to expect the email from. Any
I-
volunteers?
I can do it next week.
Okay, that's Tyler, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do we want to pick topics? Who would like to teach next week?
Well, I can teach next week. I can
Okay.
I
teach
can-
on.
I can teach next week.
Okay, so Chuck, are you going to teach Ajax or do you
Yeah.
want to teach Ajax today?
We'll see. I'll jump in if Joe needs some help, and if not, I'll teach next week.
Okay, perfect.
He's
So
got
I'll
it. So
write.
I'll teach next week.
Okay, and then who else would like to teach next week?
I can go ahead and teach next week, and I promise I'll have something more substantial than last time.
No, last
Um,
time was good. Okay, so which topic would you like? JSON, JavaScript, DOM? I think you did DOM last time. Do you
Yeah, I
want to
did DOM last time.
do
So,
transitions, animations?
why don't I go ahead and what was Chuck doing again?
Ajax.
Thanks.
Ajax. Okay. Then why don't I go ahead and do JavaScript objects?
Okay.
Because like I told you guys before, I've got like 5 different game programming books that I'm reading through, and I'm hitting JavaScript objects pretty hard right now. So
Cool.
that's what's kind of on my mind.
Okay.
So I'll teach about JavaScript objects next week.
Okay. Anybody else?
I will teach about DOM.
And who was that? Sorry. Tyler.
Yeah.
Okay. Andrew and Joseph, do you guys want to teach or not really?
I'll hold off for next week just because have a shorter meeting that way.
Okay, nope, that works out. Because how many people we have? So we have 1, 2, 3. I can teach something because I need to learn a lot. So I'll do local storage. Okay, so then we
Okay.
can move on to whoever is teaching today.
I guess I'll get my pitiful thing over with.
I think you're our only teacher today, Joseph.
Oh, that's awesome. You guys are going to be very disappointed. Let's see. Okay, you guys see my screen? I'm sharing on my other device.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I basically just grabbed this from W3 Schools because, the last 2 or 3 hours I've been learning about or reading up on it and trying to understand it. And, this is just about the best short, simple use for Ajax that I could find. Basically, the way it works, I'll pull up my code. So here's the code, and it starts with the JavaScript here. And the Ajax call, if I can find it, is right, it's this section here. And basically what it does is it just searches the root directory of the HTML file, and it gets it, and it's called this, and it's this file over here. It's essentially just an XML list of CDs with their data. And then down here, it just grabs that data and formats it as a table, all pretty like. And so it's got, it makes it really easy and really fast to update things to the screen or to the browser. And it's got lots of potential usefulness. I believe Netflix uses it for rating movies, like when you click on a star, it uses Ajax to tell the server, so you don't need to refresh your screen every time you do that. It can be quite useful. I'm at the moment still not quite seeing all of the useful aspects for it. I'm looking into it a little bit more. Are there any questions that I might know the answer to?
I think one of the things that you mentioned that I'd gotten from some of this studying on that too, it's all about server time. It's about being able to get exactly what you want specifically and limit the amount of refresh on like your window, right? So if it's just one item that's being adjusted or changing your screen, you don't want to reload the entire screen because of the time that's being used. So by using Ajax specifically, like you mentioned, like the star or the like on Facebook, like is another example of Ajax. So it adjusts that one update on your screen instead of reloading the entire screen.
Correct. Yeah, and that's not only helpful for things like that, but like not only does it save you time, but it also doesn't screw up navigation, or maybe you have a form partially filled out somewhere. If you reloaded the page, there's a good chance that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen examples where Ajax is used for form validations. So like as you're typing like a password, as you're signing up for something, you're typing the password and it's not quite meeting the requirements yet. It'll be red or whatever. And then once you meet the requirements, it'll turn green, and then you're ready to go. It's really
Another good example of that is the credit card. So if you went and typed in your credit card, it doesn't have to, change the website to validate it. It just checks it. Yeah.
So one thing to keep in mind too is like this isn't to be confused with DOM manipulation like jQuery. Right. So like jQuery is like for client-side updates, so you don't have to change the page. Ajax would be for any information you don't have client-side. So like verifying a password, that would probably more be on the jQuery side. But validating a credit card would probably be more Ajax side because it's got to hit the server to see if it's valid. If that makes sense.
Although in this particular example, there is some DOM manipulation.
Yeah.
So Andrew, can you repeat what you said? I didn't understand it. I'm sorry.
That basically like don't confuse like single page apps where because we're talking about refreshing a page and going to a different page and stuff.
Okay.
Ajax doesn't mean anytime you do something that doesn't require a page change is Ajax, because when you use jQuery and DOM manipulation, it's not changing the page either, and it's changing the content. But that's not Ajax. Does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to clarify.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
And that's not what you were saying, Joseph. I'm just clarifying that.
Right. Ajax is purely for getting data from the server and accessing that quickly. Where JavaScript and HTML, CSS, that's all client side. Ajax is server side.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe anything else? Oh, looks like Chuck's gonna rescue us.
Oh no, I was just going to share with you real quick. I know that we all had questions on like what our sandbox code and our portfolio was. So I was just sharing with you kind of what I was setting up, just as a best practice, and hopefully I can learn from some of you guys. This is real basic, but I went ahead and leveraged the animation or the transition, I guess, immediately on that menu, and then as you go in, then the code animation will be set within, and I kind of stole everything off of that off of his screencast, only to learn that that wasn't privy to this class. So I got to update my menu. But, that's how I'm doing it. So I'd love to see as you guys get your setup to see how you're doing it, so that we can. So at least I can learn from some better opportunities on portfolios.
Yeah.
Yours looks very nice. Mine is like very, very simple.
I haven't even made my
Mine looks like garbage. Here's the link to my website. I saw people setting up like blogs and stuff, and I thought that was boring, so I spent a couple hours the other day just making my own from scratch.
Love circles.
Yes, circles are the best.
So where are all the code topic lists that's supposed to be in our portfolio? Is that in code? Is that the code topics under assessments and iLearn,
Yes.
or is it
It's
something
under topics and resources in the course folder.
Patty also posted it yesterday. There's 7 topics, I think, aren't
Okay.
there?
I see them now.
Yeah, I think so. I still need to
There's some
implement mine.
subtopics under that, but yeah.
I'm not even done implementing what we went over last time, but that's just because I have other projects going on too. So
I hear ya.
Full-time
Yeah,
schooling.
that's why mine doesn't look that nice. Mine just has writing on it. Okay, well, if anybody has anything else they want to share before we close our meeting today, or any questions, or...
I'm good.
I'm gonna go eat a burger. I'm pretty hungry.
nice. Okay.
Alright.
I'll get that proposal up as soon as I can. Hopefully tomorrow, at the latest by Thursday.
Cool.
And then if you guys want to look it over and send anything you got concerns with or questions about to me, and we can work it out, and then I'll submit it Friday to Brother James for revalidation.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. That sounds
Thanks,
great.
John. Nice job tonight, Patty.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Chuck. And then next week it'll be Tyler's.
Sounds
Perfect.
good.
Awesome.
All right, see you all
Thank
later.
you.
Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
Later.
Yep. Bye.